This is the iPhone 17. I mean Google Pixel 10. But in all seriousness, even if they call this the iPhone 17, that would be okay. It is just so similar to an iPhone in terms of the feeling, features and strategy. And you know what? I mean that in a good way. So this is the Google Pixel 10, Google's latest showcase of what they can do with the smartphone. Now, before I get into talking about the Pixel 10, I want to tell you a little story. See, as soon as I finished unboxing the phone, I was clearing everything up. Then I picked up the phone and I saw that it already had like over 10 scratches. And at this point, I haven't even set up the phone yet. I've just used it to shoot the unboxing. At a point, I did keep the phone upside down on the table, but that's it. Nothing else, and that got the phone scratched up. So naturally, I rushed to an offline store and got a tempered glass installed. I did not get tempered glass for the Pixel 10, but I got one for the Pixel 9 which fit perfectly on the Pixel 10. So that is awesome. I did tweet about this and the reviews were kind of mixed. There were people who understood my point, but there were people who were like, you are straight up lying, you are an iPhone fanboy, you don't like the Pixel and things like that. Clearly they haven't seen my channel and how much I love the Pixel. And people who were helpful on Twitter said that this is not happening on the Pixel 10 Pro, only on the normal Pixel 10. So if you end up buying the normal Pixel 10, then please make sure to buy a tempered glass on day one. In fact, on hour one itself, otherwise you will end up scratching the phone. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. Now we can talk about the Pixel 10. See, you've read the title of this video and you might be wondering, why am I comparing this phone to an iPhone so much? Why am I saying that the Pixel feels a lot like the iPhone? See, I think it all started with Pixel 9 actually. Pixel 9 was a big change in terms of the in-hand feel of the smartphone. Boxy edges, size, the weight, everything reminded us of an iPhone. And they're carrying a similar trend with the Pixel 10. You can go to an offline store and pick up the smartphone for yourself. You'll know what I'm talking about. It feels a lot like the iPhone in hand. Now, to add fuel to this fire, Google has also introduced something called as Pixel Snap this year, which is exactly like MagSafe. In fact, iPhone's MagSafe accessories work perfectly with Pixel 10. That is both a good and bad thing. Good because I really like MagSafe and MagSafe accessories, and bad because people will compare this feature to MagSafe like I'm doing right now in this video. But I think the bottom line is that it is good to have this Pixel Snap feature because now a whole world of accessories has been unlocked for the Pixel 10. So wallets, power banks, stands, chargers, everything will work. And in some ways, the magnets on Pixel 10 are actually stronger. So that is a good thing. And I think this all is being done on purpose. See, Google knows that a lot of people use iPhones and some of them are actually bored of iPhones. They want to switch to the Android world, but the switch is a very big switch, and that's why I think they are making the Pixel very similar to an iPhone. So whoever wants to switch won't have a big learning curve. They'll have a very similar experience in terms of the hardware. The major differentiating factor will be software, because Pixel is all about that software. And software is actually one of the main reasons why I keep buying a Pixel every single year. Every year a new Pixel comes out, I'm really excited to test out that smartphone, and one of the main reasons is software. And it is the same reason this year as well. Android 16 out of the box, which looks amazing and has some really cool features. For example, this camera coach. So there's a new button in the camera app which will literally guide you to take better photos. So you can just show the frame and get suggestions on how to click a better photo. I think this is a very clever use of AI. Similarly, there is Magic Cube, which apparently can pull up information from different apps and give you that information wherever needed. One of the examples here is, say you're talking to a friend in messages and that friend asks you about your flight information. So Magic Cube can get the flight information from Gmail and surface it right in the messages app. In theory, this feature is really useful, but I have not tried it yet. But I saw MKBH's review and there he said that it doesn't work the best out there. It is going to need a lot of refinement. Now there's one more exciting feature, which is conversational editing. Basically, you can edit a photo by just saying what you want edited in the photo. And this is actually coming to Google Photos and not exclusive to the Pixel 10. That feature has not come to India yet. It will come soon. Whenever it comes, I will make a dedicated YouTube short about it. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. But so cool, right? You can say that, remove this person from this photo, change the color of the sky, change the color of my car, and Google actually does that. Try to see demos of this online and it actually works really well. I'm really excited to try out that feature. And see, overall, the experience of using Android 16 from Google is just awesome. Super clean, fast, and minimal experience. The entire system is designed in a very good way. It is fun to use this software. So that's why I was saying that software is the major differentiating factor. Now you might say that yes, we know software is a big point with Pixels, but what is new with Pixel 10? Well, let's talk about that. See, first and foremost, the biggest change according to me is the addition of a new camera. So the base Pixel now has a dedicated telephoto camera. Basically 3 cameras on the rear side, main, ultra wide and a 5x telephoto. This kind of completes the system, and I really like this new telephoto camera. Images at 5x, 7x or even 10x zoom are awesome. You can see some samples on your screen and I'm going to let the images talk for themselves. Obviously, this is not my full review. These are just my impressions because I've literally been only using this phone for a couple of days. But yeah, in my initial testing, I really like that telephoto camera. And same thing goes for the main and ultra wide angle camera as well. Really good photos across the board, processed with a lot of contrast, detail and good colors. And this year, I think Google has solved the issue of pink tint in skin tones. You can see these portrait images and these skin tones are actually almost on point. So no more pink tint in skin tones. I think it's like 95% solved. I really like clicking photos with the Pixel 10. It's a fun experience and has that typical Pixel look. If you like the Pixel look, you will like the Pixel 10 photos as well. So yeah, photos is great, but what about video recording? Well, here are some quick video samples and you can judge for yourself. I think that the video is good, but still not as good as the iPhone. I think it has a long way to go to beat iPhones in terms of video recording. And I don't even know if Google wants to do that. Here is a quick front camera video test with the Google Pixel 10. This will give you an idea about the front camera video quality as well as the microphone quality from this phone. That is very important. So you guys let me know how the microphone is in the comment section down below. Now here's a funny and interesting thing. The name of the smartphone is Google Pixel, which means that it should focus on camera, and that's how it all started. Google showcased that they can do a lot with software. They don't need the best hardware and they can still produce incredible results in terms of the cameras. They did that for a couple of generations, but eventually the competition caught up and the competition showed that better hardware will always produce better results. So phones like the Xiaomi 15 Ultra or the Vivo X200 Ultra or the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, all of them have way superior hardware and can do way better things in terms of the camera, like up to 100x zoom with very good clarity, way better portrait mode, and even they got better at software processing. So Google's USP of software processing is not there anymore. Like, this is a good camera, but definitely not the best out there, and definitely not a reason to go for the Pixel 10. You will get a good experience, but it is not a USP of this phone. I hope you get my point. Now the next new thing with Pixel 10 is a new chipset, the Tensor G5. Tensor G5 is a good chipset. In fact, this is the first time that TSMC is manufacturing this chipset, and it is based on the 3nm manufacturing process. Now Google has been developing their own chips for 5 years. This is the 5th edition and people had high expectations from it. People expected that it would be at least as good as the Snapdragon 8 Elite or the A18 from Apple. But in reality, it is not that. In terms of raw performance, it is somewhere close to Snapdragon 8s Gen 4. Basically not even matching last year's flagship. And Apple is going to launch A19 in a couple of weeks, and then a couple of weeks after that, the Snapdragon 8 Elite 2 might come. So I think Google has set a strategy for their chipsets. They are not aiming for raw performance. They are aiming to give a smooth and fast experience for their software features. As long as the phone is fast, smooth, and the AI features work really well, they're happy with that. And I think that is a good strategy. See, if you want raw performance, you can pick up a smartphone with the Snapdragon 8 Elite and you will get that raw performance. But again, if you want Google's software features, you will have to go with the Pixel 10, and for those software features, the Tensor G5 is optimized in a really good way. The entire system feels fast. I have not noticed any major lags or hiccups whatsoever. For normal day-to-day use, everything is super snappy. And I think that's what matters to me, at least at the end of the day. I am not trying to defend Google, just trying to understand their strategy. And I hope you understand too. So new camera, new chipset. What else is new with the Pixel 10? It has a slightly bigger battery as compared to Pixel 9. And more than that, I think Qi2 wireless charging is the main point. So with Pixel Snap, there is support for Qi2 wireless charging as well, which basically gives faster wireless charging. But wired charging is still slow with the Pixel 10. Not the fastest out there. I think it is at 30 watts, which is very slow considering 2025 standards. The display is slightly brighter now at 3000 nits. And this is a good thing. Outdoor visibility is absolutely amazing. No issues with it whatsoever. And the experience of using the display is top notch. Content looks amazing and it is smooth at 120Hz. But while you're on that topic, 120Hz is not on by default. So if you end up buying the Pixel 10, you'll have to go into settings, display settings, and then turn on smooth display. By default, it is at 60Hz, and I think this is done purposely to save battery life. Now, how much battery life will I get with this phone? Well, that we'll find out in a day in the life review. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because that video is coming very soon. Now, the display also has an in-display fingerprint sensor, which is fast and accurate. It's an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor, not an optical one, which is good. Just one thing, that when you apply a tempered glass or a screen protector, just re-register your fingerprint and then it will work better. But see, the major 3 upgrades for me are the new camera, Tensor G5, G5 chip and the software. I think this is a solid upgrade over Pixel 9. And I would like to say one thing here. If you did not like the Pixel 9, you will not like the Pixel 10. Pixel is for specific users. Like, there's a very niche audience for Pixel. It is definitely not for everyone. It is for people who enjoy using Google software. Some people find it too boring or too vanilla. Those people should definitely stay away from the Pixel. But if you belong to the category where you like the software experience, then definitely you can go ahead and buy the Pixel 10. Now, if you want to see comparisons of this phone with the iPhone 16 or the upcoming iPhone 17 or whatever, then please let me know about that in the comment section down below. That's been it. These were my initial impressions about the Google Pixel 10. Do let me know what do you feel about this video in the comment section down below. If you like this content, go ahead and hit that like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel because that would mean the world to me. My name is Harsh Punjabi and I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye bye.